Did I mention how much I love my new shop vac? Yeah, but a million times. So here's what's been happening for the past 2 or 3 days. I've had the heaters going in the garage directed at this part of the boat cavity that was all rotted out because I wanted to make sure it was going to be absolutely dry. The other thing I've done is I've taken a heat gun, there's my fancy heat gun there, and I've scraped away as much of the paint as I could. Because what I want to do, I've mentioned this already, is I want to saturate the entire floor of this part of the hull with epoxy so it soaks right into the plywood. The other thing I've done is I've opened up these cavities even more here. And you can also see from this side that I've opened it up completely. What I am going to do is I'm going to fill in this missing part of the frame here with a thickened epoxy. I'm going to use West System high density filler. And I've just made up a little bit of a form here out of a piece of cardboard tube. And I'm hoping this will work because what hopefully I can do is I can push that under there. That will still give me a passage for the water to flow through. And then what I will end up doing is filling in these gaps with thickened epoxy, and that should totally strengthen it up. So there'll be epoxy in here and here, and I'll almost bring it up right to the floor level. The other thing I'm going to do is at the back frame here, or frame number 2, I've done the same thing. I've opened it up a little bit here. I have to recut because I don't think this one's going to fit. So I need to make a smaller mold, I guess, and do that. So I've cleaned everything up as much as I could. I've taken the heat gun, and what I'm going to do now is start to mix up my West System epoxy. You can buy the resin in small containers like this. I usually get it in the 3.74 liter or I guess 1 gallon containers here, and then the hardener. I've got the fast hardener. They also make a slow hardener, which works well if you're doing this in very warm situations. My garage is heated, sort of, but anyway, I'm not too worried about the epoxy going off. So stick here, margarine container or whatever, and it's simply 1 pump of the epoxy with the same number of pumps of the hardener. So I always usually put in about 10 to start with. So there's 3, 4, and 10. This makes 10 here. So there's 10 in there, and you can see it comes out relatively clear. And then the same thing, so these are pre-mixed pumps. There'll be 10 pumps of the hardener in here. 1. Okay, and now I simply mix it up here. So I'm gonna switch sides. And there you can see it there. It's kind of an amber color. Okay, so that's sufficiently mixed. And now what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to pour it onto the floor. I'm not using thickened yet because I want it to soak in as much as I can. So this will be the first coat of epoxy. And like I said, I want to make sure that it saturates right into the pores of the plywood. And it will probably take a number of coats of varying thicknesses to build it back up to where I want it to be. I had to level the boat up because the floor was tilted down towards the bow and the epoxy was flowing that way. So I used my level, brought the bow up, and now it's pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is just take a brush and brush it into the crevices and the corners. The good thing about epoxy is it's really durable. The bad thing is it's one use only. So if you use a brush, it's gone. So as you can see, I'm using my high quality brushes here from the dollar store, and they're perfect. One-time use only. So there we go, that's it. I've put the first coat of unthickened epoxy on this cavity here. So I'm gonna let this harden up. And then the next step will be to lay down some fiberglass cloth because I want to reinforce this. There are some areas here and here that have chipped away, and I need to reinforce it with fiberglass cloth. So that'll be the next project here. So that's about it for now. I will get back to you when I'm ready to put the fiberglass cloth down.